Well, now that's right. Let me just explain to you why I don't like investing into Saccos. Well, I understand Saccos are a great way of actually creating wealth. And some of you are watching my videos, you already have your money in a Sacco. You should not panic. It's okay. It's a great way to invest. But personally, there are some of the limitations why I don't like investing into Sacco. And perhaps maybe you have ever monitored or maybe come across this type of things and you'd like, do we have a better way of investing the cash? I'm going to share exactly that. Just because I don't like to invest on Saccos does not mean it's not a legit way of investing. And again, at the end of this video, I'm going to share exactly with you which one do I prefer instead of a Sacco. Because for me, I view Sacco is like a traditional way of investment, and yet we have a newer way of investment. Okay, but if you're interested into getting into loans, or if you want to get a loan, then Sacco can actually fulfill your budget. Okay, let's get into the business. And if you're watching me for the first time, this is Good Joseph speaking. I talk all about investments and the best thing that you can ever do with your cash so you don't squander it. If you're watching for the first time, make sure that you like the video, and as well, if you're still a returning subscriber, go ahead and like the video and make sure that you subscribe to become a member of this specific channel. Leave me a comment on the comment section if you agree with the information that I'm about to share. See, the point number one, you are supposed to understand one thing. Different investments, they usually fulfill a different target. For example, when we talk about Sacco, in most of the people, okay, if you are not a Kenyan and you don't know what a Sacco is like an alternative. In Kenya, we do have the banking system, the normal banks that you know, and then we have the Saccos. I'm explaining this to my international viewers, Kenyans. Don't screw me. Don't like sort of scrutinize me or something. So see, Saccos like an alternatives of the banks. See, now Saccos, what happens? They fulfill a certain goal. For example, if you're looking forward into investing, getting a credit or getting a loan in future for you to, invest yourself, it's an amazing way of you can go with it. Okay. Now, for example, if you compare Sacco, MMF again, this gives you liquidity. If you go to T-bills, T-bonds, again, all the investments, we don't have the best investment. What we have, it's an investment that fulfills a certain goal. So pick that what works for you. Now, the reason why I don't like Saccos, that's the whole reason why we're on this video. The reason why I don't invest on Saccos. Number one, you find like, personally, I love liquidity. What do I mean by liquidity? Have you ever tried to withdraw your money from a Sacco? Then you can attest to this. They tell you're supposed to inform them in a period of 2 months. Well, I understand we have 3 types of accounts in a given Sacco. We have what we call the FOSA, we have the BOSA, and we have what we call the share capital account, the share capital account. Now, see what happens with this FOSA, you can withdraw your money at any given time. You even get an ATM, you can go to their ATM card, you can go to the ATM and withdraw the cash. So the information that I'm giving you that does not give you the liquidity is not applicable if you have a FOSA account, because I love giving sincere information. The BOSA account, again, this one is like fixing or something of sort. Again, it depends. Obviously you do fix that what you're, but most of the people are aware of this. This is the most popular account. And obviously if you get into a Sacco and you don't get the share capital account, I don't even know why you even in that Sacco in the first place. So the share account is whereby you pump in all your cash, depends with the minimum. For example, most of the Saccos, they tell you their minimum monthly contribution is 2,500. See, now you pump that money until maybe you raise a certain, there's some Saccos tell you until it reaches 30k your amount is not subjected to shares. Until it reaches some, will tell you 50. If it reaches 50k, now your money is subjected to you earning what we call the dividends at the end of the year. So have you ever tried to withdraw this cash? For example, an emergency comes in, or maybe you realize like, but I'm going to discuss that. That's the second point. So if you have ever tried to withdraw the cash, they tell you have to actually go ahead and inform them in a period of 2 years, or rather 2 months. For me, I'm this kind of a guy who love to be liquidity most of the time, because one thing, I'm a risk taker. I love grabbing an opportunity as it goes by. So if I do have the cash, or if you do not have the money at my disposal, then it becomes a little bit hard for me to get into that investment, unless I want to part ways with cash or money that I know, hey, I don't have even any hurry with this amount of money. I'm not even looking forward into investing this money or something of sort. All right. And with that case regard, I would rather buy shares or stocks. All right. See, now the point is, I love to be liquidity. Maybe that's one reason why I usually don't like to go into the Saccos way, though it's an amazing way of investment. But for me, I prefer where I'm having an accessibility of the money. So that's the first thing, that's the liquidity. The second part, this is where I'm going to spend a little bit of time to explain to you. Probably most of you will agree with me. When it comes to getting the loan from a Sacco, I hope I don't have a noise with my microphone. Getting a loan from a Sacco becomes a very, very tough thing. It's very, very tough. Have you ever tried? For example, see, joining a Sacco is quite of an easy steps. You can actually join a Sacco online. You can even show up to their premises and open an account, and you start pumping in the money. You know, whether you want to go the 2 accounts way, of which I do prefer you go the 2 accounts with the Bossa and the share capital account. You see, now what happens now, they really don't, well, they just tell you like roughly when you're starting up, hey, you need to have like 4 guarantors for us or for you to get a loan from us and all those kind of things. Have you ever now tried now to show back to them and be like, okay, let's say for example your target was to get a million bob, okay, million bob. Now they tell you they can give you 4 times. See, and then your target was to save 300k, so that they give you the 4 times. Now you have your 1.2 million. And then maybe let's say you're interested to get their million bob. Now what happens? Now you go to them and they told you, hey, you need to give us what we call the guarantors, okay? And of which obviously I support them 100%. I mean, seriously, you cannot just give your money without a guarantor. That's a reality. Either a guarantor or security or a collateral, whatever the thing you call it, okay? There is nothing wrong with them doing that. But now the problem comes in, like you just doing just a Sacco online. For example, say you are outside the country or you're even within the country. You just show up to a good Sacco because they are good Sacco and legit Sacco. You open an account, and then now your target is to get a million bob. And you already know if you save 300k, you're entitled to get 1.2 million. Now you're not even interested in 1.2, you're just interested with 1 million. Now what happens? Now you go to them, tell them, hey, you know what, guy, Talang, I got my savings at 300,000. They go back to your track record on your savings. They see, yeah, it's true, you have a very active account, you've been saving with money and all those kind of things. Amazing, you qualify. Now they tell you, now front us the 4 guarantors must be the members of this given Sacco. I'm telling you, when you went to join that account, nobody was there. You don't even know nobody. You only know that individual whom you met at that particular point, you know, at the premises of that given Sacco. You have never even met anybody. You don't know one in that given Sacco, and then they're telling you, give us 4 of them to guarantee you this amount of money. For example, if you have your savings 300k, right? If you have your savings 300k, definitely if you need a million bob, it means that you're looking for 700k. And remember one thing, these guarantors that you're looking for, they must be able to, you know, sort of guarantee you the 700. You cannot front a guarantor. Let's say you're even able to actually front a guarantor. You have guarantor A, B, or 1, 2, 3, and 4. The one has, let's say, 150 in her savings, or his savings, 150. The other one has, like, let's say, 100. The other one has 100. The other one has 80. So how much is that? 1, 2, 3. Let's even call this 100. Okay. These are 300k plus 150. So you have 450k. So all these people, even if you are to front them, it becomes very hard for them to actually guarantee you, because you need to front guarantors who are able to actually guarantee this amount of money, just in case something happens. Well, I'm giving this information because this is exactly what I was told, and this is why I sort of discontinued my services with the Saccos. See, now what happens, and obviously you totally understand them, not that they are bad. Definitely there is no way you can give somebody a loan worth 700,000 and then the guarantors are actually be able to foot the 450k. Now what happens to the other 150k? Is it 250k or something? Yeah. Now what happens to the other 250k? It makes sense. But if you understand all these nitty-gritties before joining a Sacco, amazing, you can go ahead and join the Sacco. If you do have some members whom you know from that given Sacco who can guarantee you equivalent that amount of money that you need, amazing, I totally support you and I totally advise you go and join. But if you know nobody in that given Sacco, then they smack you with these real figures out there, it becomes very hard for you. You've saved your 300, you're looking forward somebody to, or people to guarantee you the 700k. Let's say most of the times you find you don't even have the guarantors, and if you do, then are the guarantors able to guarantee you this amount of money for you to get that cash out of that specific bank? Well, back then, but most of the Saccos never used to actually accept things, we call them the collateral. You know, collateral are likes of the cars, I don't know, logbooks, you call properties, and some of them, I think nowadays, and I stand corrected, you can actually tell me on the comment section, because I don't want to give any false information. Some of them back then, actually not even some, most of them actually, they were not actually allowing this part. I did ask them, then they were telling me, hey, well, it's an area that we are still not to explore, but we're going to explore the area, and once we do so, then we can give you the feedback. For now, we actually rely on the guarantors who must be the members of this given Sacco. Okay, and now the moment they hit you with these realities about this, what you're not supposed to do to get that loan, now what comes back? But if you can actually guarantee yourself, like I was giving you an example back then, you can actually borrow against yourself. For example, you can go ahead. Well, I know, first of all, you kind of shake off the dream of a million bob. You can achieve it in a different route, because there is always option A, B, C, and whatever. So you can actually guarantee yourself, for example, you can get to 80k out of your 300. You get this 280K, you go do your business. If you're interested to do the business, the other one, the 100K, virtual 100K, basically that's what I should say. It's actually giving you dividends at the end of the year. And then now you pump back that money to kind of, you're paying yourself. You're not even paying the Sacco or something also. It's like you eating your cake and having it at the same time. Okay, because someone be like, hey, why would I even get the 280 if I have my 300? Come on, why would you even use your money to invest? You just use somebody's money. You just borrow that 280K, go do your things, and again, the 300 remains there. It's still earning you the dividends, because if you were to withdraw it and go do yourself, you don't have anything in account. Therefore, you don't have any. You don't have anything like sorry about that. You don't have anything like which is earning you some interest or rather dividends. Okay. See, well, this all information, there is a previous video that I made. Go check it out there, where it says how to borrow a loan interest free. You go check that video. I do have it out there. Okay. Now, see, now what happens the moment they smack you with all these real figures or the realities? Now you kind of feel discouraged to be like, fine, I want my money. I want my money now, because I cannot be able to get help. Now, the moment you tell them I want my money, they give you a papers there. They tell you, hey, go read this one. It says you're supposed to write us a letter after inform us in a period of 2 months for you to get back your money, because those shares ought to be sold within the members of that given circle, of which it still makes sense, because these people are in business and it's an investment. They wouldn't love just to, sort of give that shares they wouldn't love to get those shares out of the the portfolio of their investment. Okay, it makes sense, all this. But what happens now if you do not know? And if you know, there are two options here. For me, the reason why I don't invest is because I know I don't love the process. And if you do not know, you might also not love the process. So it's good to understand. So by the time now you're getting in, you already know that this is what I'm expecting to get. And remember one thing, this is what I'm giving as a disclaimer. Saccos are amazing places. Some of the people I know, they have actually become wealthy using Saccos and whatever. I'm not saying they're bad. What I'm saying is there's some of the limitations that they usually have when it comes to investment. Let's go to another point. The other thing is that the need of you frequently depositing cash to them. For example, they tell you, hey, you're supposed to be depositing 2,500 as our minimum towards your contribution to your share capital account. That way, maybe perhaps, let's say you don't even have been in a position to do this. You find like maybe a month or two you have not deposited that, and actually what happens, it affects your credit score, it affects your your frequency, you're active in that given account, and that can actually have a negative effect or negative thing towards when you want to get a loan. That's another thing that can actually sort of kind of pushes me away into that thing. The last part, again, is a sensitive matter. If you're in Kenya, you can relate to what I'm talking about. And I'm not going to name any Sacco here. But actually, sometimes getting into a reliable Sacco becomes a bit of a stress. Some of them are even actually regulated by the body which regulates all the Saccos in Kenya, called the SASRA. But you find there's some misbehavior in between, quite an animal or a beast in terms of a big company. But you find like some funny information goes out there. Some people lose money. Some people, I mean, it's kind of funny. So the point is, sometimes getting a reliable Sacco in between there, it becomes a bit hard, because some of the guys who actually are the pioneers of these Saccos, you find like sometimes they go against the rules and regulations, they risk people's money and what have you, but they are good Saccos. I always tell people that in the midst of quacks, in the midst of those fake people, there are always real people in between there. So if you can actually sit down and do a very research, you can actually get yourself a very nice and brilliant Sacco that you can actually save with and actually grow yourself to the next level. For me, it's not my thing. It's not really a cup of tea. And the question is, which one is the best for me? Simple. Money market fund. That is it. No explanation, no nothing. I've talked about that thing for like a million times. Yeah, money market fund. You can get started. If you've never heard of what is a money market fund, yeah, go ahead and get my number on the description of this specific video. Get your copy. Learn everything about money market fund. Gives you the liquidity, gives you all those things, and you can be able to withdraw your cash at any given time. You deposit at any given time. Gives you the interest each and every month. It's an amazing area. Another area that you actually love most is treasury bills. You can also do so. And if you'd like to go the long way, you can go the treasury bonds. Yeah, those are just bad examples of also stocks and shares. You can do something about it. So anyway, guys, for now, it's a goodbye, but don't forget to leave me a like button, or rather a like there. Make sure that you leave a comment section, a comment. And for now, it's a goodbye. See you in the next one. See ya.